Good afternoon and welcome to the Lloyd Rapelje class graduation. Before we begin the ceremony, please ensure that your cell phones are silenced or turned off.
Class, attention!
The Michigan Department of Corrections is proud to honor our country. We do that through the words and music of our national anthem. We are privileged to have Officer Mark Anthony VANDERSON of G. Robert Cotton Correctional Facility to sing our national anthem.
Present arms!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order! Arms!
Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Chaplain Lloyd of the Employee Wellness Team to come forward and offer the invocation.
Hear our Lord, our prayer, as we humbly come before you and ask your presence at this graduation ceremony and for your special blessing upon these graduates. Today we recognize the significant accomplishment of these graduates. They have dedicated themselves to the noble pursuit to become corrections officers. We are most thankful for their commitment, their hard work, and their persistence. We give thanks for their many gifts and talents and abilities that you have so graciously given to them and that they bring to their careers. We celebrate their uniqueness and diversity, but also their willingness to come together and to conform to the high standards and mission of the Michigan Department of Corrections, to be one in black and gray, and therefore one in purpose and together in the pursuit of excellence. For their service to the citizens of our great state, we are most grateful. You have set them apart for this service in what will be often dark and difficult places. Grant to them a long and effective service. We pray your blessing upon them and pray that you will extend to them strength of character to be known as people of integrity. Proverbs tells us a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. the ability to remain above reproach in all they say and do. Help them to guard their hearts and minds. Insight to accentuate the positive and to delete the negative in a world around them. Discernment to perceive honesty from dishonesty, to recognize fact from fabrication. Wisdom in their service and the ability to make right decisions. Courage to judge matters courageously and without ambiguity. The capability to be firm, fair, and consistent, as well to be just and impartial. Preparedness to rise to the level of their training and to act swift and sure. Dedication to continuously train and learn to be the best they can be at all times. The means to develop and maintain a healthy sense of humor in places that might make that difficult at times. Serenity to accept the things they cannot change, courage to change the things they can, and the wisdom to know the difference, to operate within their sphere of control. And today we pray for their families and friends on the home front. May they provide places of support, understanding, and encouragement. Grant our prayer today as we ask them in your great name and according to your perfect will, full of love, mercy, and grace. Amen.
My name is Gary Manns. I serve as the administrator of the training division for the Michigan Department of Corrections. I am very pleased to welcome you to this graduation ceremony for the Lloyd Rapelje class. I would like to thank the executive administration, wardens, other department leaders for providing their support and their staff to ensure recruits in success of the academy. We are privileged to have with us today the class namesake, Lloyd Rapelje. At this time, I would like to introduce Director Heidi Washington of the Michigan Department of Corrections, who will now address the Lloyd Rapelje class. Ladies and gentlemen, Director Washington.
Hello. I'd like to welcome you to the Michigan Department of Corrections as members of the Lloyd Rapelje Academy class. I wish I could be there in person to celebrate with all of you today. This is a day I always look forward to. I'm grateful for this opportunity to tell you how much your service means to this state and to the Michigan Department of Corrections. Many things are different today than they were just 6 months ago. We've all had to make changes to the way we live and work, and in your case, how you train and learn. I'd like to thank you and your families for your willingness to adapt and be flexible during this time. I'd also like to thank our platoon leaders, field training officers, and our training staff. They worked hard to put measures in place to help you stay healthy and make sure you're at your best when you walk into your new assigned facility. That's important because you're joining the department at an unprecedented time in our history. We've had to adapt quickly to new challenges we never before expected to face. The team you joined today has tackled those challenges with great courage, determination, and resolve. I know each of you has that same courage and determination. We're proud to be serving alongside you as you help us protect the people of Michigan and keep those under our supervision and each other safe. But the role you'll play is even bigger than that. It's also an opportunity to change lives for the better. When people come to prison, we often see them at their lowest point. It's our job to lift them up while holding them accountable and demonstrating fairness and compassion. The world is always changing, and so is corrections. We will continue to adapt and evolve to create better outcomes for everyone who touches our system. And importantly, we will continue to stand on the front lines protecting our communities no matter what challenges come our way. Thank you for your service to our great state and to the Michigan Department of Corrections, and congratulations.
I would now like to introduce the Lloyd Rapelje class representative, Wesley Wade of Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lloyd Rapelje class representative, Wesley Wade.
Hello, my name is Officer Wesley Wade. I will be going to LRF, or Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility. Today I am speaking on behalf of the Lloyd Rapelje class of 2020. I want to give a short insight on the Academy and how it was and how it changed me. With this being the first virtual Academy, we were all challenged to a different style of learning that most of us are not used to. I would like to give you a little background about me and tell you why I chose corrections as my career. I am an EMT from Muskegon, Michigan, and I was introduced to corrections while on the ambulance responding to Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility and Muskegon Correctional Facility. Before being introduced into the corrections staff, I had very little opinions on prison. I had no idea of the environment that was inside the prison and the way the prison is being run. Being a first responder, the promotion of better health and the better being of my patient also ties into me as a correctional officer, promoting in the success and the bettering of the offender so when they get out, they can make better decisions. I chose this career because I would like to play a role in the growth of offender success while being a law enforcement figure. Now, time for an insight on the Academy. On July 13th, a lot of us did not know what to expect being the first virtual Academy, but the training staff did not hesitate to enforce discipline and show us how this Academy will be ran and what will be expected of us, not only through the computer, but also when we arrive to the Ramada for the in-person portion of the Academy. Along with this being the first ever virtual Academy, I believe it was not only a success for me, but also my classmates. We have learned many things in this Academy, from how to shine our boots, to drill, to defending yourself against attacks, and much more. This Academy has changed me as a person. I feel as though I am more disciplined and more thorough. An example that I can give on how the Academy changed the way I think is that I had a mindset before coming into this career that a prison was just there for the punishment of the prisoner, nothing more and nothing less. I had no idea that there was so much more to a prison than meets the eye. Since day one of our Academy, we have had the mission statement drilled into our heads. Our mission is to create a safer Michigan by holding offenders accountable while promoting their success. Promoting their success. This is what helps our community. This is what helps our department. Most people do not understand that a prison is a form of rehabilitation for these offenders, so when they get out of prison, they can provide for our community and not re-offend. By promoting the success of prisoners, this will make our community a safer place. The more prisoners that have, the more options for them when they are released will make re-offenses drop. There were many challenges with this Academy. The biggest challenge facing us all was COVID-19. It has changed this Academy as a whole. We were cut from 8 weeks of hands-on learning to only 4 weeks. From having everyone in a classroom to only having 10 people in a room. From having to learn how to do drill through a computer and how to learn to not go insane from the lag of our Zoom meetings every day, along with having to wear a mask all day long. In conclusion, I want to thank all the staff that put endless hours into this Academy. We all know this was not at all easy for you changing to a virtual, knowing you're all hands-on teachers. I also want to congratulate all my fellow classmates as well. For everyone, this was not easy. Personally, I'm a hands-on learner, and the Zoom portion of our class was challenging for me. But challenges only make me want to achieve my goal more and more. It is now our turn to represent the department in the best way and most professional way we can while promoting offender success. Once again, a big congratulations to the class of 2020. I wish you all success and many years of happiness, and I thank you all for your time.
We are honored to have the class namesake, Lloyd Rapelje, who will present the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, class namesake and honoree, Lloyd Rapelje.
Hello, everyone. As introduced, my name is Lloyd Rapelje. I'm very proud to be here today as your class namesake. I'd like to thank the director and the Department of Corrections for allowing me this opportunity to have a class named after me and to be here today. I think it's be interesting to know why I'm here and what I bring to the table, so I'll give you a little history of myself. 33 years ago, today I was like you are, sitting in this class, listening to a speaker and thinking about graduating and getting onto my facility. I know of the anticipation that you all have to do this and the want and desire to get into that and get out and spread your wings and start your careers in the Department of Correction. I don't know what your goals were in regard to coming to the department. I can tell you mine were back then, and that was to get a job and to provide for my family. And I came to the department with that goal, and I found a career in the Department of Corrections. I think you will too. I think once you get in our department, you will find that you've joined one of the best departments in the nation. Back when I was Assistant Deputy Director, I used to say we were cutting-edge corrections. I would say that we were one of the best Department of Corrections in the state or in the nation, and I feel that today. And you get to join this department with that Montag. We're not asking you to come in and change the world. We're asking you to come in and be part of this great department and to continue to lead the nation in the Department of Corrections. I'd like to say that you come into the department under great leadership with the director, Heidi Washington. She's one of the best directors that I've been associated with in my career, and she has a goal and she has a vision, and you'll be excited working under her direction. Like I said, 33 years ago I came in and sat where you did and I listened to an individual tell me I could be anything I wanted to in the Department of Corrections, and I said, yeah, right, I'd just like to get my diploma and go into the weekend, and I'm sure you're feeling the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with that feeling. But I'm thinking maybe 33 years from now, in the year 2053, one of you will be standing up here just like I am, and looking back at that career and saying, hey, you know, that guy was right, I could be anything I wanted to be in the department, and it's up to you what you want to be in our department. I know some of my friends that I graduated in the department are officers to this day and are some of the finest individuals there is in the department. The corrections officer is where the tire meets the road in our department. You guys are the one that makes or breaks this department every day. So there's nothing wrong with being a correction officer and doing that job your whole career. However, there are other opportunities in our department. You could promote up and be anything you want to be, from a sergeant to a captain to a warden. You can also decide that maybe custody is not you, and you could become a chaplain, you could become a nurse, you could become a maintenance worker, you could be a teacher. I've seen people in my class do all those things, and that's an opportunity too. I also seen people decide that corrections isn't what they thought it was, and they couldn't do some of the things that was required to be done, and so they chose to quit and do other things. That's also an opportunity. No one should be miserable in the job that they're in every day. They should enjoy coming to work. They should enjoy the people they work with. And I hope that if you realize this isn't for you, that you make that choice also. Over the years, like I said, I promoted up through the ranks. I held every custody position: sergeant, lieutenant, captain, inspector, assistant deputy warden, warden, and assistant deputy director of both North and South. In those roles, I had the opportunity to work at every prison in the state of Michigan. I've been in every prison, been in every yard, been in every chow hall, been in every housing unit, and they're all great places to work. When I was here visiting with you, I got asked about, you know, why my prison is this or why this prison is that, and I say to you, the prison is what you make it. It is made up of people. You, the officers, and all the people that work there make the prisons the great places that they are, and do the great work that we are charged with doing. If you don't know, but I'm sure you all do, the prisons are a small community made up of what communities are made up of. We have maintenance, which are public works. We have administration. We have business offices, which do the banking for the prisoners, do the stores for the prisoners. We have warehouses. We have food services. We have schools, we have health care, we have dentistry, and so it's a small community within a community. And the prisoners are residents of that community. And you are the police force of that community. We hear a lot today about community policing. You guys are the prime example of what community policing is. You are out there every day in the housing units, giving programming, directing, and enforcing rules and regulations. And we do that every day, and we do it in the spirit of correcting behavior and being a role model. And so be ready to take on that role when you enter the facilities. Again, in our department, you have the ability to be and rise to any level that you want to. One of the questions I got asked when I was making my rounds is, what about using force, and how do we use force, and what's the apprehension of using force? Unfortunately, we are the police force, and sometimes force is necessary. What I would say in the application and the use of force is you use the least amount of force necessary to control the situation, and you do it in a professional manner, and you won't have any issues. Inmates want to live in an orderly environment, and you as officers are the ones providing the orderliness of that environment. So take that role with seriousness, and you'll do fine. And the inmates will respect you for doing that. The other thing that has changed over the years in the department is the ability to look at the stressful job that we have and what it does to us as individuals. So I would encourage you all to find a hobby and to engage in activities when you're not at work to relieve any stress and anxiety that you have from the job. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk. We have a wellness division now that is there for your use. If you want to reach out and talk about any particular incident or situation that you're going through, it's there. It's one of the things that the department is leading in is the wellness of our staff and our employees, so don't be afraid to use that. And I would encourage you to make friends in our department and to enjoy your career and to take it to wherever you can go. I had the ability to make a career out of it. I have 4 children. I've been married 43 years, and the department has made a very good living for me and my family, and I'm honored to be a part of this organization. I think you will too. When I went around and talked to you, I told you that this is a holiday weekend, so I wouldn't get too wordy, so you guys could get out and get your diplomas and get on with your lives. And so I will end it here by saying congratulations, welcome to the Department of Corrections. I pass the torch to this new class and to the new leaders that are coming up through this class, and I thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
The presentation of awards recognizes superior achievement of members from this graduating class. On behalf of Director Washington and the Michigan Department of Corrections, we present the following awards. Presenting the Josephine McCallum and Jack Budd Awards is Training Officer Heather Selling.
In 1987, Josephine McCallum and Jack Budd, 2 officers from the same recruit class, died in the line of duty. To memorialize these tragic events, awards are given in their names. As Josephine McCallum and Jack Budd received their certificates of completion and shook the hands with their platoon leaders and fellow officers, it's likely that they were feeling much as the same as you are today. Josephine McCallum and Jack Budd were people at the threshold of a new career, and both were committed to excelling and becoming very best that they could in everything they did. The Josephine McCallum Award is presented to the recruit who demonstrated good moral character, an outstanding positive attitude and concern for his or her fellow recruits, as well as behavior that reflects positively on the department as a whole. Nominees and the recipients of this award are chosen by the recruit class. The recipient for the Distinguished Award will receive a letter of recognition from Director Washington. Assisting with the presentation of the Josephine McCallum and Jack Budd Award is Acting Assistant Deputy Director Jeremy Bush. The nominees from each platoon will stand as I call their names. The nominees for Josephine McCallum Award are 1st Platoon, Officer Charles Jefferson. 2nd Platoon, Officer Matthew Peich. 3rd Platoon, Officer Dustin King. 4th Platoon, Officer Lawrence Bossman. It is with a great deal of pleasure that we recognize Officer Charles Jefferson for this award. Officer Jefferson, post. Congratulations. The Jack Budd Award is presented to the recruit who has put forth an uncommon effort to improve their abilities needed to succeed as a corrections officer. Nominees are selected by each platoon, and the recipient is chosen by the training staff. The recipient for this distinguished award will also receive a letter of recognition from Director Washington. The nominees selected from each platoon will stand as I call their names. The nominees for Jack Budd Award are 1st Platoon, Officer Moses Bestman. 2nd Platoon, Officer Mark Anthony VANDERSON. 3rd Platoon, Officer Edward Condon. 4th Platoon, Officer Rosa Alvarez. 'It is with a great deal of pleasure that we recognize Officer Rosa Alvarez for this award. Officer Rosa Alvarez, post. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Presenting the Academic Achievement Awards is Platoon Leader Diane St. Germain. Assisting with the presentation of the Academic Achievement Award is Assistant Deputy Director Jeremy Bush.
Academic success in officer recruit training is vital for all officers. It must be achieved in order to graduate from the program. It is a tradition to recognize the recruit from each graduating class who has scored the highest academically and present him or her with an Academic Excellence Award. This award includes a letter from Director Washington, a certificate recognizing the officer's achievement, and a pin which can be worn on their uniform. Before making the presentation to the top academic achiever, I would like to recognize the runners-up. Each runner-up will receive a certificate and an academic achievement pin, which will be handed out with their graduation certificate. When I call your name, please step forward to be recognized. Officer Caitlin Yoder. Officer Zachary West. Officer Adam Rosine. Officer Joyez Chusa. Officer Travis Trolla. Officer Zikrulai Arogandade. Officer Shane Spar. Officer Dustin King. Officer Garrett Griffiths. It is now my pleasure to announce the Top Academic Achiever Award. The Top Academic Achiever Award for the Lloyd Rapelje class is Officer Larry Williams. Officer Williams, post.
At this time, Assistant Deputy Director Jeremy Bush will lead the Lloyd Rapelje class in reciting their oath of office.
Class, attention!
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my position according to the best of my ability.
Right aim, seats!
At this time, Assistant Deputy Director Bush and the United States Marine Corps Veteran and Field Training Coordinator KIRK Downs will present military appreciation coins to recruits with honorable military service. Ladies and gentlemen, Assistant Deputy Director Bush and Field Training Coordinator Downs.
Military service recruits, attention! First Platoon, Charles Jefferson, United States Marine Corps. Stephen Pape, Army National Guard. Lawrence Solis, United States Marine Corps. Zikru Life Aragandati, United States Marine Corps. Kenneth Johnson, United States Army. Matthew Pike, Army National Guard. Trevor Say, Army National Guard. Larry Williams, United States Navy. Third Platoon, Joyce Chusa, Army National Guard. Dustin King, United States Army. Braden Latham, Michigan National Guard. Jordan Ramey, U.S. Army Reserve. Shane Spar, United States Air Force. Fourth Platoon, Lawrence Bozeman, United States Army. Mantis Yahoo Goldstein, United States Army. Jamie Ham, United States Army.
Will our active military members and veterans in the audience today please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, please give our recruits, all the military service members and veterans in attendance today a round of applause for their service. Presenting the graduation certificates to 1st Platoon, our platoon leader, Heather Selling, and Field Training Officer Brandon Johnson.
First Platoon, attention! Post. Officer Nicholas A. Officer Zachary Benson. Officer Moses Bestman. Officer Devlin Broman. Officer Samantha Campbell. Officer Caleb Dunnigan. Officer Charles Jefferson. Officer Grant Keogh. Officer Kiona King. Officer Anita McQueen. Officer Brendan Moe. Officer Stephen Pape. Officer Gavin Rickard. Officer Joshua Rowley. Officer Michael Scott. Officer Lauren Solis. Officer Nico Thomas. Officer Wesley Wade. Officer Savannah Wyman. Officer Zachary West. Congratulations, 1st Platoon.
Presenting the graduation certificates to the 2nd Platoon, our platoon leader, Michelle Swain, and Field Training Officer, Eric Huff.
Second Platoon, attention! Post. Officer Jalen Alexander. Officer Zakrulai Arogandati. Officer Kelsey Coleman. Officer Carla Derwin. Officer Melvin Dutt, Jr. Officer Garrett Griffiths. Officer Corey Hall. Officer Kenneth Johnson. Officer Rachel O'Connor. Officer Travis Ogden. Officer Jamel Peebles. Officer Matthew Peich. Officer Noah Reed. Officer Gabe Rickard. Officer Trevor Say. Officer Ashley Spielman. Officer Travis Trolla. Officer Mark Anthony Vanderson. Officer Megan Walter. Officer Larry Williams. Officer Andrea Wilson. Congratulations, 2nd Platoon.
Presenting the graduation certificates to the 3rd Platoon, our platoon leader, Roy Dodds, and Field Training Officer, Ryan Early.
Third Platoon, attention! Post. Officer Eldon Alexander. Officer Alawale Inafwoshe. Officer Edward Condon. Officer Joyez Chusa. Officer John Dill. Officer Sean Graham. Officer Dominic Greenfield. Officer Landon Jancheski. Officer Dustin King. Officer Braden Latham. Officer Nathan Love. Officer Devin Moore. Officer Malika Nelson. Officer Remy Juice Anwanabe. Officer Ray Pena, who could not attend today. Officer Jordan Ramey. Officer Adam Rosine. Officer Shane Spar. Officer Megan Taylor. Officer Aisha Terrell. Officer Rashad Thompson. Third platoon, congratulations.
Presenting the graduation certificates to the 4th Platoon, our platoon leader, Diane St. Germain, Field Training Officer, Renee Nichols.
Fourth platoon, attention! Post. Officer Rosa Alvarez. Officer J. Bearden. Officer Lawrence Bossman. Officer Joshua Brannon. Officer Ian Conrad. Officer Justin Corby. Officer Mattis Yahoo Goldstein. Officer Ivory Griffin Jr. Officer Jamie Ham. Officer Bradford Hoflinger. Officer Dylan Lane. Officer Kendall Leonard. Officer Dakota McLaren. Officer Jared McQueen. Officer Brendan Novak. Officer Andrew Pastu. Officer Shania Pollard. Officer Amanda Russell. Officer William Wing. Officer Caitlin Yoder. Congratulations, 4th Platoon.
For those officers who receive special awards, please remember to return to the stage immediately after being dismissed.
Class, attention!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Lloyd Rapelje class and our next generation of correction officers for the Michigan Department of Corrections. Thank you for attending today and have a very safe trip home.